Remember these? Back in the day, Radio Shack's electronics labs were one of the coolest ways to learn electronics. You didn't just read about the circuits, you actually built, experimented, made mistakes, and learned why they worked. And if you learned back then, chances are you also know the name Forrest Mims. His hand-drawn books have become legendary because they explained electronics in a way that almost anyone could understand. He taught generations of hobbyists by keeping things simple and then getting them to build real circuits. Today, these electronics labs are hard to find. Many of them have become collector's items, and the few that are available can be expensive. Over the years, I've noticed something about this channel. You don't come here looking for advanced theory, and there's a lot of channels out there saying, hey, look what I built. And people look at it for entertainment. But my most popular videos are on soldering and desoldering, and it tells me that people are looking for the basics. You want someone to explain why something works and how it works and make it easy for you to understand. So I've decided to do something a little different. I'm starting a complete electronics learning series. And instead of trying to find one of these old Radio Shack labs, we're going to build our own lab, part by part. In the first series, I'm going to show you how to build this box with just simple tools. And we're going to add the parts one at a time. So first, we're going to build a box that you can be proud that you built. And then we'll add a dual power supply, which will be useful when we study op amps and other circuits that require negative and positive voltages for the bias. And then we'll add the meters and the breadboard and the other accessories needed to learn electronics. So this box can be built with simple hand tools. And the video is rather long, and it's going to be the first video in the series. But after each video, we'll show you the parts you need for the next, and we'll go line by line, and we'll learn resistors, capacitors, almost anything you want to know about analog electronics. And hopefully in the end, you will have learned something. So for the next video, you're going to need a piece of 1/2-inch plywood. It should be at least 11.5, 12 inches long by at least 24 inches wide. I bought one of these. It was 3 foot long. It was 11.25 inches wide and a 1/2 inch thick. And it worked fine. I got both sides and the bottom and the front and the back out of that one piece. The second thing you're going to need is this 1/4 inch trim. This came in a 3 inch by 3 foot section, and it's oak. So you could choose poplar, you could choose maple, whatever you want, just as long as it's a 1/4 inch thick. So this was a 1/4 inch thick by 3 foot long, and it provided the whole amount that you would need for the box. The tools that you're going to need, I tried to use just a handsaw. And you can see my dog got to the back of these, but these are just regular tin snips. A drill, some drill bits, a box of screws. These are 1 5/8 inch long. You don't need this special bit. You can use just a set of regular drill bits and then drill your smaller holes with the small drill and then countersink with the bigger drill. But this thing did it all at once, which made it nice. You're going to need a tape measure and a straight line or measuring stick. You could use a 2x4, you could use a piece of angle iron. You will need a piece of angle iron or a 2x4 to make the bend. I just used a scrap piece of angle iron that was from the junk pile, and I used it to make the one bend in the sheet metal. And of course, you're going to need a sheet of 22 gauge sheet metal, flat. You can get this at Home Depot, Lowe's, or a surplus store. That's where I get mine. The surplus store is cheaper. But it's going to have to be at least 20 inches long by at least a foot wide. And last but not least, you're going to need some clamps. So the minimum would be 2 of these clamps. You can get them cheap at Harbor Freight or some discounts tool store. I would recommend that over Lowe's or Home Depot because they'll be a lot cheaper. And you only need 2, but if you have 4 works the best. And last but not least, you need some glue. I used Tight Bound. This is pretty good stuff. There's a red version of this, a blue version of this. Doesn't really matter. You're just using it to glue your pieces together. So these are things you might want to consider to get ahead of the game. For our power supply, we're going to use a 30 volt center tap 1 amp transformer. Right after I show you this, I'm going to put a link. It came from eBay. This is the power supply kit, which also came from eBay. The only difference being the power supply kit comes with these tiny little power supply resistors. We're going to want something external to the board to adjust the voltages. So I'm going to replace them with these 10-turn pots. These are Bournes. I'll put a link to these also. And the meters that we're going to be using are basic DC meters. They show voltage and amperage, and it should be an interesting aspect when we hook up the negative, but I did hook up the negative in a way to get the thing to work. So we'll see if we can get that to work. And these are just basically VC288, and they came from eBay also. One thing about the course, I am going to be teaching with the NRISI 2C53T oscope and multimeter. Now you can use any oscope and you can use any multimeter. The only reason I chose this is because it's got full multimeter functions, a signal generator, and an oscope. The multimeter, the capacitance checker, and the diode checker all work really well. So we're going to stick with this meter for the time being. Now you can use any meter. You could use, if you have a standard multimeter and an oscope and your own signal generator. In the future, I'm thinking about adding this simple signal generator to the mix on the board. So if you have an oscope and a multimeter, you'll be able to follow along easily. Well, that's it for the introduction of the Paul's Shop Electronics Lab. I hope you'll join me on this mission and you know where the channel is going in the future, because the next 20 episodes are all going to be about learning electronics and building this lab. I hope you like and subscribe and continue with me on this journey, because we're not just going to build this lab. We're going to learn how electronics actually works. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next episode.